Hello, everybody. We'll get started fairly soon. Welcome, everybody. We will get started fairly soon. Welcome to all the haters as well. You're welcome to. That way, you know what's coming for you. Glad to have everybody. There has been a lot of shills lately, or people that get blocked, can't fathom being blocked, and come back with a different name. Shout out to TM, Teresa. Yeah, the tears. Shout out to the bootleg trash versions of us. Just pretending they're us. But you can see the shills are stepping up their attacks. Diversionary tactics. Satan. Just like I said, we all talked about that. He's going to expose his own, and he's going to crush them. You heard what's going on in New York with Cuomo. Everybody wants him to step down, don't they? They're done with him. Lisa, welcome. Glad to have you. But you can see how when Satan's done with people, they just go away. And whether it's criminal or civil, he'll go away. He'll await his everlasting judgment. Jeff from Michigan, welcome. Glad to have you. Everybody's welcome here. Like I said, even the shills and the paid haters. Hopefully they understand what's coming for them. It's not coming for us, is it? Let them fly propeller planes over your house. Or CGI propeller, or whatever they are. And helicopters. And gang stalkers. More robots in cars that follow you around. All welcome. All welcome. Because what's coming upon this place and what you see ain't coming for us, is it? It's coming for you. You're whack. You were born whack. Your mommies and daddies were whack. And God's done with you. Turn from your sin and accept Christ. Because we are on borrowed time, aren't we? Borrowed time. The place is coming to an abrupt end. Whether it's a false flag done by Satan's people, a staged event, whatever other worldly term you want to put on it. But you have multiple things going on. Man trying to put themselves in a position to be here on what they think is a reset. Other people think aliens are coming. And I don't even know what other people think. Violet, welcome. Glad to have you. But this place is done. There isn't going to be any great resets. It's all coming for them. New York, as of August, the second week in August, 15th, you can't do anything anymore unless you partake in putting your faith in science. So that'll be the date, whatever it is, August 15th, the start of the end. They will not respond well to that, will they? I think they stopped short of grocery stores. I'm not sure though. Whether that comes on the August 15th or September 15th doesn't really matter because it's here. And if you knew the zombie apocalypse would start in 15 days, what would you do differently? What if it was 30 days? You get twice as long, 30 days. Would it make a difference to you if it was 90 days? And tomorrow would be 89, then 88. But you know what's coming. It's not going to have any effect on you. It's coming for they. Do not fear at all. Mighty, welcome. Glad to have you. And you can expect what's starting in New York and LA on August 15th to be the beginning of the collapse. Not that it hasn't been going on, but they're going to push it over the line because they're just satanic robots. Do not feed into politics. It's Satan's Republican or it's Satan's Democrat. They're not even their own. None of it. Feed into nothing you see on the TV news is meant to draw you near to Christ. But once the collapse happens, make no mistake, they will be able to get through to you per emergency alert system or whatever that is that continues to go off at my house from midnight to 3 a.m. like every half hour. Emergency broadcast alert. Monica, welcome. Glad to have you. Yeah, I don't really know anybody that watches TV. What I do is I'll record random stuff throughout the day. And then for about 15 minutes at night, I'll zip through it as fast as I can. And I'll just try to show, I guess, anything that can teach people. But I don't watch it. I wouldn't understand it. I would be very aware. I was watching Robots and Serpents. The commercials are the easiest. You can see the glass doll eyes and the pale synthetic skin in the commercials. But if you don't know what I'm talking about by now, you probably never will. Another DeAndre Bass. He's got a YouTube channel. I said that name before. DeAndre Bass. Listen to him. Hear what he says. Let it sink in. Who does he sound like? Yeah. Demon Porthole. I guess one could call a TV that. I use it as a teaching tool. As far as what's going on with it, I couldn't even tell you. The last time I actually watched TV in real life, sometime in the 90s when I was a kid. But you better be ready for what's coming. What it is doesn't matter, like we talked about. Is it the wrath of God? Is it Satan knowing his time is short? Or is it just man doing staged false flag events, trying to divert your attention to a threat that doesn't exist? You will not be able to buy or sell unless you take the mark of the beast. I hope I'm not telling you something that you don't know. You should know that already, and what's coming, and that the world that you and I and we tell everybody, hey, that world's done. This place is fixing to get real bad. But just in case you didn't know that, the world's done. And how do they respond to you? The same way they respond to me. And when you realize that, you focus on you and that narrow path you're going to take and God's going to guide you on. You're going to make the decision to stay on that narrow path, not getting pulled into the world, is basically what that means. And wherever God guides you is wherever you're going to go. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to be down Main Street. But that will be the beginning of the end. August 15th in New York, maybe Los Angeles too. I know it's in France already. I know it's many other places they're not telling you about. If you don't take the mark of the beast, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. It's very clear what the Bible says. Now, you're not going to have to make that choice. That choice has been made for you. There won't be any food. So even if somebody said, hey, I'm starving, I will take the mark of the beast and put my faith in science. If you give me food, there ain't going to be none. There will be the illusion, however, at some point, per the fake TV, hey, they're going to show you a supermarket full of food. Everything will get back to like it used to be. More deception. So once it goes, it's gone. It is already a wrap. Indeed, you should be enjoying the little bit of life peace in the old world that you knew while you can. Today, I was going to go for a drive like I used to do when I was a teenager. It rained a little bit, so that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm going to dwell upon how lucky I am that I'm on the right side. When all this dust settles, how lucky I am. It's not coming from me. Though I'm a sinner, just like you, just like them. For some reason, they don't acknowledge that. And they have some sort of false religion they call Christianity. In brick and mortar churches, all led by people that have no depth at all. The blind, leading the blind. But there isn't many blind leading the blind, is there? Because at this point, the end of the end, before the tribulation, there ain't many people in there that aren't they. They have crept into the church unaware. Didn't start that way, but they've crept in unaware. Why? Because they can't see him. God has blinded them. So of course they crept in unaware. You ain't supposed to be there. That's the moral of that. That ain't for you, is it? That brick and mortar stuff. And you probably knew that when you were in it. Like me. No real depth, though, is there? More cartoony. The cartoon Noah's Ark. The hippie Jesus. All crap of the First Order. Brought to you by Satan and all his hive mind. That's a word they like, hive mind. In the cloud, you'll hear that sometimes. Elevated, many other terms they use for the hive mind, if you got ears that can hear. I personally don't care. I don't really show that. I can only use visual references to teach you. Because without the visual references, you wouldn't be able to see with your own eyes what I'm talking about. But I've made enough videos on that. Like I said, if they don't have that by now, they ain't getting it. The whole world has fallen under the sway of the wicked one. People asking, why isn't somebody doing something about what's going on? Because there ain't no somebodies left. No somebodies going to do anything. There is none left. Life support is with us. Glad to have you. Welcome. Why doesn't somebody do something? Ain't none left. No somebody's left, is there? They don't want to hear that crap. What do you mean, bro? And what I mean is, nobody's going to do something, Gary, because there's no somebody's left. Gary's not going to understand that. And he's going to shut down. He's going to tell you you're crazy. Or he's going to dismiss it in one ear, out the other. I'm sure you know what I mean. In one ear and out the other. But what Gary does with it doesn't matter. Because they're all going to see. They're all going to see. And the last moments that they spend in this reality that we keep showing up in are going to be panicky, not good moments, are they? It's not going to be a magical sunset, a shooting star in the background. It's not going to be like that. They're going to be panicky, stressed out, but not me. Not me. Certainly not you. Just remember that. Hear my voice. It's not for us. Do not fear. It's not for us. Why are you scared? And I hope you remember that. When the collapse starts, why are you afraid? This isn't for us. They won't understand that. And they'll run panicky, trying to preserve their own lives. Way past cans of chicken noodle soup at that point, isn't it? Way past that. But it's not for us. Never has been, never will be. But I can't imagine the way people communicate is going to continue on the way we do it now for very long. As the collapse starts, or people become aware of it, because it's going on all over the world, just like I told you. But once people become aware of it, or it affects them in their real life, I would imagine communication, however they do that, it's going to be very tough, if at all. Now, they will be able to communicate with you via worldly things, radio, maybe cell phone if you have electricity to charge it. But what's coming upon this place isn't for us. Don't fear it. But you'll see the moment I'm talking about. People panicky in the streets, a little bit confused, a little bit angry, whole lot of scared, not knowing what to do. Now they're in that nightmare. But why are you so content? Why am I so at peace? It's not for me, bro. But right about that time, I think they're going to start activating the mark of the beast. The activation of the technology they've been putting up for many years, you know what I'm talking about, isn't for the world that we knew up until 2019. That technology is not for the illusion that we're in now, that maintains on after the world ended. That's not what that technology is for. It's for when they pull the plug. So don't listen to the people that tell you it's already live. That is not the hive mind. Whatever the hive mind is, or the cube, or whatever other satanic worldly name they want to give it. Just devil bots. Nothing more, nothing less. Ain't got nothing to do with you. Don't listen to them. But that's how they'll communicate with them. Almost like a zombie apocalypse, I guess. It's not for us, though. Gabriel, welcome. Glad to have you. But yeah, I think the illusion is going to end and the collapse will start to begin on the 15th of August, because that's when those mandates start to go into effect. New York City, I think other places too, but that'll be the end of that deal. You can't go to restaurants or can't do anything. It's Satan's restaurants anyway. Satan's Broadway. Satan's city. Those cities are not supposed to exist. This reality is totally different than it's supposed to be. None of the cities, none of the roads probably has something to do with keeping you off of God's earth. Everything in concrete. Never put their feet on God's earth anymore. But none of that matters anymore about us putting our feet on God's earth, because we were born into the great deception. And none of the details matter anymore. All that's left, is the collapse. The best part, just another tool like everything else to show you that that Bible is real. Like I said, when you see it going on around you, just remember, that's not for us. So this isn't for us. Don't be afraid. You shouldn't be scared. Where am I going to get food, bro? Why are you scared? Where am I going to get water? Why are you scared? Do not fear what is coming. Do not have anxiety. Do not stress out. What am I going to do without electricity? Why are you scared? Everybody's scared, whether they tell you or not. And I don't mean us. I don't mean me. And I don't mean you. I mean everybody else. Even they. But everybody else, in the back of their mind, must think, what are they going to do? And you know what their answer is going to be? I don't want to live in that world. You don't have to worry, because that world ceased to exist in 2019. The illusion of that world that we exist in now is going to come to an abrupt end, just like the Bible says it will. Now, by the grace of God, he didn't just pull the plug in November of 2019 per the birth pains, because there's stuff going on all over the world right now. Weather stuff, they're burning everything up with the energy weapons and all. You know the deal. So as far as birth pains and what it may not affect you yet, where you live personally, like it's affecting people all over the world. But I assure you, it will. It will, without a doubt, land in your city at some point. Not for you, of course, but it will. This place will change abruptly. How are they going to do it? I don't know. As far as the communications, no electricity, no zombie boxes, no cell phones, right? So, but they will be able to communicate with you, to tell you what to do, where to go. Yeah, that's going to be the path they're going to continue to take. It's like the Bible says, the end result, you will not be able to buy or sell without them. But that's not just for us. That's for they too. All of them. Satan's done with all of them. He's done with all of them. Their monetary system, their dollars, their cash, whatever you want to call it, Bitcoin, whatever they want to do, it has no value anymore. Yeah. Face, welcome. Glad to have you as well. But this place, conspiracy theorist, yeah. Sterling got called a conspiracy theorist. Tell them they better hope so. We're not conspiracy theorists at all. We're different. Yeah, it's a good decision, Face. Their monetary system ceased to exist probably in about 2008. And then you start hearing like people say, we'll spend our way out of debt. Injecting money into the Federal Reserve. They're going to print up more paper, backed by gold that doesn't exist. Nobody wants the paper. Even banks don't want the paper. And they haven't in a long time. And they think they're just going to shake it off like whatever happened in the 30s. Because they're stupid. They can't fix potholes, can they? And if they can't fix potholes in real life, they can't function a monetary system. because it's not made to be a legitimate monetary system. It's Satan's deception we were born into. Just like the buildings and the cities and the roads shouldn't even exist. Certainly the monetary system shouldn't exist. A lot of people are still suckling at the teat of Babylon. And they're going to pay dearly for that. I think part of the deal is it's going to be abruptly. Not like the zombie apocalypse where you're like boarded up your houses and they're making their final stands but you can't. They can't. They cannot put the trust in themselves any more than Satan's people can burrow down into the earth. Doesn't make a difference, because what's coming upon this place isn't from here, is it? It's not from here. That's one thing that's very important. It's not going to be a worldly event. It's going to be something different. It's going to carry over into this place, but it's not of this place. It's not going to be a worldly thing. You'll know it. There may be some staged events and some false flags and some flooding, but whatever it is, you'll know it. We're there. We're there. But the darkness cannot penetrate the light. So there will be no fear. There will be no anxiety, no depression. You shouldn't feel any of that at all. You shouldn't really feel much of anything. You certainly shouldn't be afraid. Why are you scared? It's not for us. No matter what you see in the sky, no matter what you see around you, it's not for us. You're going to see some stuff. You're going to see some stuff. Men's hearts will fail from fear of what's coming. So like I talked about once before, from what's coming. So it ain't even got here yet. Whatever it is, and people are dying from fear. What could they see coming that would cause their hearts to fail from fear? I don't know. Again, refer to, that's not for us. My heart's not going to fail from fear. That's for them. And whenever that happens, it doesn't really matter. But you will not be able to buy or sell without the mark of the beast. And there's too many people that are not going to take that are not biblically based. You understand? Yeah, I don't know. In the sky over Wisconsin, I've seen a lot of darkness. And it was like a blue sky, partly cloudy. But there was a darkness there. That's what it is. But yeah, something different's up there. Like a shadow or something. It's like it always, like with the sky of the 90s, the yellow sun, like a soft blue sky. Now it's like black blue, and we have a white sun. But the darkness There's something going on up there. Doesn't matter. It's all part. Like I just said, whatever you see in the sky, don't believe it. It's just an illusion, no matter how real it looks. No matter what you see on them TV news people, none of that is for you in a positive sense. It's all to deceive you. You will listen to nothing that you hear from them. Believe nothing you see. Stuff going on around you. You will be on that narrow path, and you will be guided by God. It will not harm, it will not affect you in any way, though it will affect everybody around you. It's not for us. But they don't want to hear that. They want to hear, they want their lives back. But they're aligning with Satan, aren't they? Not even knowing it. They are of this world. We're not of this place. He said his kingdom's not of here, right? We're the ones that aren't of this place. They're of here. They're made here. But that's hard to explain. People that can't see it and don't want to hear it. They're not us. There's very few us left. And maybe they could be saved. God loved the world that whoever believes in him, right? It says who, it doesn't say except. It says preach the gospel to every creature. I have sheep not of this fold. But until you understand who you are and who they are, you can't do nothing with it. And that's the toughest part. It is what it is, though. It's not on your end. It certainly isn't on my end. It's God's will. God's will be done. You have to remember that for your neighbors, your co-workers, all the people you grew up with. When the collapse happens, those are the people you've always been around that are going to be panicky. They're going to make horrible decisions. Don't get pulled into their crap in any way. Let the dead bury the dead, come out from them. So either they're going to go with you on that narrow path, or they're not. They're going to get in that FEMA bus, or whatever scheme they got. Once those supermarkets close, it won't take long for those buses, those FEMA buses, to be driving around. But it'll be overrun anyway. There's too many people, too many gang members. From a worldly standpoint, for them to think once the collapse happens that there's going to be any stability per martial law. These people can't fix potholes. You understand? So whatever they think, just remember, they deceive the masses. But they too are deceived. So whatever they think is irrelevant. It's their own demise. Yeah, everyone around us is already like the Walking Dead. Like I said, the people that God sent here are the people in your youth that put you in a position to learn of Christ or taught you of Christ. Everybody else is just filler. Whether you like that or not, whether they like that or not, or whether I like that or not, it is what it is. They can't live the way they live. Zombied out. You can't vouch for them either. You're not going to be able to vouch for them. Either they individually figured it out or they didn't. Worthy is the Lamb. Welcome. Glad to have you. But that darkness is coming upon this place, is coming for them. And that's what it's going to be. That's going to be the trap we talked about. The families, the neighbors, the friends. It's going to be a trap that gets a lot of people. Now, when you realize, let them grow together until the end. Let them grow together so they're emotionally connected to wives or husbands and people around them that aren't even us. Let them grow together till the end. That's part of the trap. It's a little deeper. I never really got into that, but it doesn't matter. Nobody wants to hear it. Let them grow together till the end. Then we'll surprise them. Let them grow together till the end. Then we'll surprise them real good, see. But he's going to. And that's going to be his thing. It's how you know he's the one true God. He's the real deal. Because he's going to unblind them. Say, look, that dude that was telling you about that was right. But they'll never acknowledge that they're sinners, that they do anything wrong, or that they need God. That's part of it. It's not that they're bad people. Neither hot nor cold. But none of that matters. You individually, you cannot vouch for them. You can do nothing for them unless they want to learn. I would be glad to teach somebody 24/7. God brought them to me. But since, like I said, 2003, people could care less. Still, with what's going on, they still don't care. And their response is, they don't want to hear it. Or they don't want to live in that world. That's their standard issued response to what's going on. Or if they're older people, they'll say, we lived through this and we've lived through that. Happened before, blah, blah, blah. But not like this. They don't want to hear it. They said they lived through, I lived through 2 world wars, and all this other crap. But not like this. This isn't what they think it is. It's not a worldly thing. What's coming upon this place isn't coming from here. The darkness. And we talked about the darkness. Time like never before. And it's been here before. You can refer to when they crucified Christ. Darkness covered the land from like the 4th hour to the 6th hour or something. But it wasn't an eclipse. We talked about that. It wasn't nighttime. It was a darkness. Same darkness that was there in Genesis. Because the sun didn't even exist yet. And there was a darkness that covered. That's the darkness. It's not a worldly darkness. Refer to the, maybe there's other Bible verses. But that's the darkness. And it's what is within the darkness that I think is what are going to make men's hearts fail from fear of what's coming. What's within the darkness. I had a dream like a month ago, maybe 5-6 weeks ago, and I talked about it. I was on a trail, a very narrow trail. It was fall. The leaves were on the ground. And the leaves had fallen, except for this very narrow path. And there was like like a hazy fog over the land. It's a very weird dream. And it was dark outside, but it wasn't nighttime. It was a very quick, very short dream. What does it mean? I don't know. But I don't dream very often. But when I do, stuff like that, but people better be ready. And like we said, you're not going to be scared. Why are you scared? Why do you have anxiety? Why do you have depression? Why are you scared? It's not for us. Don't lose that aspect of it. No matter what you see, no matter what you hear, turn that world off. Even if you see it, like I said, it's not for you. But it's going to be wild. And like I said, it could be any hour, any day, any week. But it's not going to be long. No fear. Well said, Violet. We should have no fear. Why are you scared? So I'm going to sign off for the night. And we'll get back at this tomorrow night. I care about all of you. I want to see all of you shine. That's why I've done these videos for so long, through many different channels. Use them wisely. All glory to Christ.